Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages. I am your host on the PinFall Podcast. I am Josh, and I am joined by one of the greatest men in podcasting. I'm so excited because I will get to meet this man face to face tomorrow. He is the man, the myth, if you will, baby, William H.D. Morgan.
The man, the myth, the legend, if you will, baby. How you doing, Josh?
Doing pretty good, sir. I really am pumped. Like, I was telling him earlier this week, guys, like, I feel like I've known this man 20 years. It's been like a year and a half. But, like, he's one of my absolute best friends. I'm super excited to finally get to meet him face-to-face tomorrow.
Same here, man.
So, because of that, guys, Will's got an early flight in the morning. We both got long days over the next 3 days. So, this is going to be a quick show. We're going to just talk some news, get the question of the week, talk the match of the week, and probably get on out of here without a straight-up talk it this week. Excuse me. But on that note, we're going to get right into it. Well, you pick question or match of the week first.
Let's do question first.
All right. So my question for you this week is, the Forbidden Door is now open. We've been seeing it more and more. It's getting wider, if you will. I saw something this week from ROH saying that if they were to get into it, what matches would you want to see? We haven't heard a whole lot of ROH from the pandemic. They're slowly coming back. So I want to take it a step further and say, if you could see a random promotion step through the Forbidden Door, who would you want it to be?
A promotion, just off the top of my head?
Yes, you don't even have to go with a promotion per se, but a random big person from that promotion, like Nick Gage showing up in AEW.
Oh man,
or a title defended, or a random title defended on a major show. You can go with that.
I'd love to see the and I know it's from the past, so to speak, but I'd love to see the Aztec of the King's title be represented again.
Dude, you say that, but have you been watching MLW at all?
No, I haven't seen it in a few days.
So they brought Dario Cueto back. He's changed his name, but it's now Azteca Underground or Azteca. I don't know. He runs a company that is partnered with MLW. They brought in Mil Muertes.
Oh wow!
And they're kind of running this Lucha Underground storyline. So there is a chance that they bring that title back.
Yeah.
That was probably one of their more interesting titles.
And that title is pretty too. That's a pretty
mine, and I think we might see it. I don't know if you saw this. Will Ospreay returned last night at NJPW Resurgence. He's back from injury, and he says that he is ready to fight, but he will not defend the title in Japan until they recognize him as the champion. So says he will defend it everywhere else.
Right.
I think Ospreay is going to show up in either Impact, AEW, and shortly, like soon. AEW's got one of their biggest shows, three of their biggest shows coming up in less than a month. They've got First Dance this Friday with Rampage that we're pretty sure Punk's showing up. Then they've got All In, which is always a huge show for them. And then they've got that first show in New York coming up. So they're going to need some big things to happen, not just people coming in, but like people bringing in titles. So I think you're going to see the New Japan Pro Wrestling Heavyweight Championship defended in the United States on a different promotion.
This will be interesting.
Very soon.
That's going to be really interesting. Really
For
interesting.
wrestling nerds like you and me, that's
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Hell yeah.
So we got on that topic. We'll just move right into this right now because that was a quick question. So we got on that topic of New Japan Resurgence last night. A lot of stuff happened on that show. We're gonna kind of graze over all of it. Sorry, I'm pulling up my notes.
You good, man? You good, bro?
All right. Don't care about that one. I don't really care about that one. Leo Rush was finally in another match. He returned from injury.
Really?
Yeah.
Leo.
He actually pulled double duty. He fought him and then had another match.
Cool. Leo.
All right. So here's the first one I want to talk about. Tomohiro Ishii faced Moose. We've talked about it on this show before. We are Moose fans.
Yes.
Like, that man has worked so hard to go from football to being one of the top guys in this business right now. And if you don't agree, you're blind. He can play the heel. He can play the baby face. He's good on the mic. He's got to the point where he's great in the ring. He went toe-to-toe with Kenny fucking Omega.
Yep.
Like, he can do it all. He's charismatic. He's brooding. He's just all of it. And he's got the fucking look. He did win this match. I think this is a great step for Moose. I'm hoping Christian Cage is going... Oh. So Christian Cage won the Impact World title and TNA Championship on AEW this week.
I saw that and I was like, wow. But again, we talked about it when he won it the first time. You know, at some point, someone's going to get let go. That schedule is hellacious.
Yeah. And I heard today that they actually changed the ending of Triple Mania for Kenny to win that match instead of lose because he just dropped these titles.
Right.
And I get that. I do. To me, you get all the marks saying, oh, they take it from one AEW guy and put it on another. And I mean, yes, you did, but you also have to remember Christian has history with that company. Like, if it weren't for his TNA run, he wouldn't be as relevant as he is. His TNA one is what made him great. Like, that was some of the best points in his career to a lot of his fans, including me. And I think they're actually going to be live for the first time in months. They're going to be live on Thursday night this week, and he's going to be in there. And I would not be surprised if he doesn't vacate. Maybe not that, or put it up to everybody that Kenny's faced in these past few months. I don't know, but I wouldn't be surprised if they move it forward to someone on the roster.
Yep.
To me, it needs to be Moose. Like, I don't know who else would be believable.
Yeah, Moose is still relatively young. So
yeah, early 30s.
Early 30s. Yeah. So it would make sense to put the title on him.
He has worked hard to get better, to do better. He deserves this title run now. Like, seriously, truly deserves it.
I agree.
So, next bit of news, we kind of covered it. Christian did win the Impact World Championship. Did you watch Rampage, Will?
No.
It was good. it's hard for me to get interested in a hour-long wrestling broadcast, because just by the time I'm really getting invested, it's over.
Yep.
And like with AEW, the way they do it, like okay. So you had the Cage Omega match. That was one.
Facebook user.
Right now, we're just talking all the news, and this is probably going to be the only topic this week, guys. We both have early mornings in the morning with the trip, so. But
that's a good point too. That's a good point, because hour-long shows, by the time they get really revved up and you get the motors running on it, it's over. It's done.
Yeah, that's exactly it. So you had Kenny Omega and Christian. Then you had Velvet and Baker were the main event. God, I know there were a couple other matches that I'm just not hitting on right now. But I think there were four or five.
Mm.
And it's just so much in that period of time. I think I'll be interested to see what it says when the numbers come out tomorrow, what they hit as far as the numbers. I mean, I would not be surprised if next week they hit 1 million.
Yeah.
I realize that's a shot in the moon on a Friday night right after SmackDown has ended, but they're going to do something this week, and I will bet money on this right now. Something happens this week on AEW to move forward the CM Punk discussion. It's got to.
Oh yeah.
If something is happening on Friday, it's kind of, if I'm AEW, it's done exactly what I wanted. It sparked up. It got everybody talking. We were able to make the event as everybody was talking. Darby dropped his quote and they replayed that quote on Rampage this week. And then, so I feel like on Dynamite Wednesday, something's got to happen. Something's got to drop to move the story forward for Friday. So I believe you will have confirmation, basically, of Punk Wednesday.
Think he's slick dropping that in there. Thinking he's all slick dropping in there. MMA event dropping on all elite referees. You think you slick, man?
And he was asked a question this week about it, and he said, I think I'm going to be in Chicago, but I think I'm going to be at a viewing. I think we're doing a viewing for episode 3 of Heels. And I was like, dude, come on. Come on. A viewing of that is going to go 7 or 8, which means you're out by 9, and you could still make it over to the United Airlines Center to do your appearance. Dude, come on. Come up with something better than that.
Yeah.
Please don't even put yourself in the city.
Right. I agree. Blank. Wow. Charlotte made an appearance at AAA.
So she didn't make an appearance. She was backstage.
Yeah, my bad.
I don't know what Charlotte's contract looks like, but something tells me she's probably on her way out.
Did he say they need to bring Coco Beware back?
I don't know if that's possible. But on that note, we're going to take a quick commercial break. We'll come back. I want to talk match of the week, and then we're probably going to get out of here pretty quick, guys. We'll be right back.
goes up like we do. No one does us like we do. Always go hard with this crew. Welcome to the show, let's make moves. Nothing's gonna stop us, it's not to get rough. Turn the whole room up, it's never enough. Let's go, 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 let's go.
We are back, and those commercials right there were Double XP. You can catch that on Wednesday, 7 Central, 8 Eastern with K, Punisher, Tyler, every Wednesday talking about all things video games. Can't forget the pun of the week. So
yes,
check that out.
Most definitely.
And then Monday, our Monday lineup, Sports Report, 9 Central, 10 Eastern, every Monday with this man, right? That way. No, that way. This man right here, he and Tony C and Seven and Dirty Dan go over all the sports every Monday, 9 Central, 10 Eastern. And then after that, you can catch Sports Report After Dark with Seven and Dirty Dan, where they go over the human side of sports. It's always an interesting discussion. Be sure to check that out. And then also, you have a really good podcast with me and Kay every other Tuesday. That actually will be Kay and Punisher this week, while I will be in Louisiana for Real Reality Fantasy Football Draft. And then also use code GGN10 at repsports.com. We appreciate them and Raise Energy Drink being our first sponsor. Oh, there's so much to say. Jesus.
I finally see who that is. What's up, Taylor? I finally see who that is.
All right. So, I feel like I forgot some. Man, we didn't talk any WWE like at all this week. Like at all.
It didn't really go down, though.
I mean, you're not wrong. Like, I didn't hear anything.
I haven't seen any news from them either. I haven't seen anything.
Yeah. Nothing.
Just standard stuff.
And this is my thing. Like, this is the stuff I'm talking about. Like, you can shit on AEW all you want, but like, who's getting more publicity right now? AEW, New Japan, AAA.
The only thing WWE is getting is the wrong publicity when you start letting people go. They don't value talent the way they should. Ain't no way in the world you should be letting go of some of those people that they let go.
Oh, agreed. I wanted to make a comment on Rampage about the four-man booth. So you have Taz, Excalibur, Mark Henry, and Jericho. I like all of those guys. I think they're all amazing commentators in their own right. Henry, you can tell he's still new, getting his feet wet. You're not sure. They've also got him doing some backstage interviewing, kind of like Tony Schiavone.
Hey, President Pun.
So I don't know how I feel about a four-man booth. I really don't.
It's awkward.
It's a lot. It was a little jarring to me when AEW did the three-man booth. Because I never really worked for WWE. But in my defense, other than I think JR is done, and I get crap for this every time I say it, but man, like this week on Dynamite, he messed up like 6 or 7 times. Like, and just little things that not everybody's going to catch, but I was catching them. Like, he just made mixed statements or couldn't get his wording right, or he's just not the same guy we all grew up loving.
Yes,
like I do. And I realize, like, for most of us, that man, Shivani, King, Joey Styles, like that is the voices of our childhood. But they also get older. They lose some of that. And JR is not where he should be. I don't believe he should be on TV anymore. But I don't run AEW, TK does. And the man usually makes good decisions. So I will let him go on that. But
it's one thing to have a bad day. It's another thing when you have.
It's almost every show that JR is messing up.
It's one thing if you mess up here and there, you go back and correct yourself. But it's another thing to be in the business as long as you've been in there and you're still making those same mistakes constantly. You should be you're on a higher level than most, and you should be making those mistakes. I'm sorry, no disrespect to JR, because I grew up with him too, but you should not be making those same mistakes time again.
They're not always blatant.
Have to really catch them.
But then what? Huh?
You have to really catch them sometimes.
Yeah, sometimes they're like that. But there is at least a couple of mistakes every show. Right. Now, once a month or so, you get the good night, everybody. Thank you for watching WWE Dynamite.
My goodness.
And he's cleaned it up. I don't know if someone talked to him, but he's kind of cleaned up his comments as far as what he says during women's matches.
That's funny.
And speaking I made comments over the first couple of years of AEW that JR was getting very Jerry the King Lawler-ish on some of his comments and things that he said about the women. And
some nice looking ones within AEW though.
Oh, I don't.
Oh my goodness. Oh my
dude,
goodness.
Anna Jay is the woman of my dreams.
And Britt Baker.
I am jealous of Jungle Boy.
And Britt Baker's no slouch neither. Oh no. My gosh.
Dude, you didn't watch Rampage. So on Rampage in Pittsburgh on Friday, she came out in a Pirates jacket, like a Britt Baker Pirates jacket. Took that off. It was all Steelers out. The boots, the bottom, the top was all Steelers out. She had a Roosh booty. Oh my God, her booty looks so good.
It's a slobber knocker. It's a slobber knocker. Let go. It's a slobber knocker. The puppies.
But
let's go.
I forgot where. Man, you got me off track with the booty. But no. So the 3-man booth threw me off first. But other than JR, I love Tony. Tony, and I did not grow up listening to Tony like you did and other guys. Mm-hmm. I did not really get to experience Tony Schiavone. I was very excited when he was announced because I had heard of him. I knew who he was. I went back and watched some WCW, so I've heard his voice. I was very excited when he was announced being brought in. I was very excited when they put him on the table. Same thing with Excalibur. I didn't know a lot about him. He's been mostly an indie guy before this, but I think he's amazing. He's super knowledgeable. Mm-hmm. He does very well. So I'm fine with the 3-man booth. And maybe they just got to get their vibe. But I feel like it's hard for 4 people to talk. And for everybody to get in a viable amount of information. I feel like there were times I didn't hear Taz for minutes. Right. Minutes.
Yeah.
And then he would chime in, and then you wouldn't hear Mark for minutes.
Yep.
And again, I liked Mark, but he to me did better with the interviews than the at the table commentary stuff. So to me, make it Excalibur, Taz, and Jericho, because I do believe this is Jericho kind of stepping away from wrestling.
Oh yeah, hell yeah!
Believe Jericho is just about done. It's about time for the man to hang it up, except maybe once every few months.
He wants to tour more with Fozzy anyway.
Yeah, and they've got a big European tour coming up in November, so he's gonna have to take time off.
Yep.
I think he's about to step away from the wrestling and be more on the announcer booth, more behind the stage. So I think go with that and put Mark as the backstage interviewer. But maybe they work it out. I don't know.
He interviewed Cage, didn't he?
Huh?
Interviewed Cage, didn't he?
Yeah, he interviewed Christian Cage and Jungle Boy and right after. And like those interviews were good. You could tell he's still trying to find his footing on the booth.
Mm-hmm.
As far as my match of the let me pull this up. As far as so as far as the match of the week, I've been thinking about this one over and over and over again. And I think a lot of people are probably going to think I'm going to say Omega and Christian.
You're not that type of guy. You're not that type of guy. You're going to pick something else.
It was a great match. I'm not going to say it wasn't. It was a great match for the start of Rampage. But truly, the bang for my butt was Britt Baker and Red Velvet. I thought that was an amazing match. They did a great job. Closed down the show well. I am very, very, very interested in what Red Velvet is doing. Like, she has grown so much in the past year on AEW. But I would say that is probably my match of the week. My other one, if I were going to give a runner-up, I would say, the Impact Tag Team titles were defended for the first time on AEW Dynamite this week. It was the Good Brothers versus Evil Uno and Stu Grayson. That was a great match. It was so good. Two teams that can tell a great story in the ring. I swear, man, I'm falling in love with Stu Grayson as far as a wrestler. Man is so good. He's crazy, bro. Like, he's strong and muscular and does all these, like, typical wrestling style stuff. But then every once in a while, like, he's throwing himself over the top rope. And, like, it's crazy. And then I did want to say this. I don't think Christian Cage ends up facing Kenny Omega for the championship at All Out.
You think is it before then?
Well, no. I think it'll stay that now that he's the Impact World Champion, we all know he's not going to win it.
No.
Like, it's not going to happen. So what I see happening is maybe CM Punk comes in and takes that spot because they're going to be back in Chicago. It would make sense.
And everybody love every time Punk is anywhere in Chicago, you get nothing but CM Punk.
Well, I mean, dude, so that's why they're in Houston Wednesday. Then they specially booked this Rampage not 3 weeks ago. When all these rumors about Punk came out, they specially booked this Rampage, the first dance. If Punk doesn't show up in Chicago, the fans in Chicago are going to riot.
Agreed.
Like, you got to give those Chicago fans their payoff. And, like, I'm sorry, but, like, this is huge for AEW if they're the ones to give the CM Punk payoff that WWE never could. So
another dude, WWE just stopped putting value over.
He was one of the first, man.
They stopped putting value in him, and I don't get that. He was making you money.
I believe he shows up Friday. I think somehow he ends up taking over Christian's spot in the match for the title because it just makes sense to me for that to happen in Chicago. Like, I get it. Have him debut against Darby in Chicago is a great idea. I think that's a dream match I never knew I wanted. Right. Darby Allin versus CM Punk. Like, and here's a little tidbit for all y'all. They actually have the same drug-free tattoo on their knuckles. The same one.
You usually have to give CM Punk some matches to get back into the flow of things, but yeah.
Well, and you got to remember in AEW, wins and losses count. So he would have to move up the rankings or win some kind of match with Christian, switch his like there's ways they could pull it off, but I don't know how it happens. But now that Christian won that title, I don't see them going forward with him going for the AEW title, and I don't think it's necessary.
Nope.
So that's my opinion. We are going to go ahead and get out of here tonight, guys. Like we said, Will's got an early flight. I've got to drive down to get him. Then we've got to drive to Louisiana. We are filming for Real Reality Fantasy Football this week. Our draft. If you haven't checked them out on YouTube, make sure you check them out. I think there's going to be a lot of videos uploaded over the next week. And yeah, so make sure you check that out. Thank y'all for joining us tonight, guys. Thank y'all for tuning into the PinFall stream. We got a lot more things coming. I believe we will be doing a watch party on our Twitch this Sunday for SummerSlam. So make sure you stay tuned for that. All right, guys. Y'all have a great night, and we will see y'all very soon.